Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Note Closer Show. As always, Scott Carson, excited to be here with you today. Today's episode is all about having the case of the Mondays. And what do I mean by that? If you think back to the night, when was it filmed? The Office Space. It was filmed actually here in Austin, Texas, about having the case of the Mondays. And I've seen some posts on social media that kind of cracked me up how with the holidays, especially the last 2 weeks of the year and the first week of January in 2020, it seems like we've had 5 Mondays in the last 2 weeks, and I kind of find that hilarious because it does happen that way when you have a holiday like Christmas in the middle of the week where people got to work Monday and then they got to go back to work on Thursday or Friday a lot of times, or even with New Year's Day being on a Wednesday, same thing, and then coming back. So I think Monday, January 6th, kind of kicked off the first year for everybody because I see a lot more activity. I see more open rates and some things. I see people reaching out for updates and some stuff, or people who have gone radio silent that suddenly appear over the last 2 weeks. And I know a lot of people, because I've talked to people, I was on the phone with people, have a hard time trying to find the motivation to get rock and rolling. And everybody's all excited about, it's a new year and new goals. And people sometimes have a difficult time like, I've been enjoying just kind of sleeping the last 2 weeks. A good friend of mine just said, what I like more than anything else? The ability to sleep during vacation, to sleep in, which is a gift to oneself if they can take a nap in the middle of the afternoon. And, if you don't have kids, or if you have kids, find some time, solace being alone with your thoughts, or just taking a cat nap to get caught up on some things. It can be an overjoyous occasion for those 10 minutes that most people don't get. But what I want to talk about today is we all run into that. I even run into having a case of the Mondays on a Tuesday or a Wednesday sometime. I found myself kind of dragging. I got up, was in the office at 8:30, getting documents out for a closing, selling some assets off, having another podcast interview, and then planning for our upcoming mass media podcast summit that's taking place the last full weekend of January this year. We're pretty excited about that. 21 of our good friends are coming together, marketers and podcasters, and just going to deliver 3 days of good content. So that has me motivated. That gets me excited. It's stuff that I was working on between Christmas and New Year's, is getting that kind of prepped up and running. So that will help prime the pump. The reason I bring that up is a lot of people wait to start something till the first day. Okay, I'm going to start this on a Monday, or I'm going to roll in and be motivated. And you maybe slept late, went to bed late, or not feeling good. Mondays, a case of the Mondays can show up in multiple ways. And you're not feeling good, you get an argument. We interviewed Patrick Precourt on a previous episode here, and he talked about how our whole mentality, our mind, can get us into feeling and acting, taking actions and feeling specific ways which go against what we want to accomplish. So here's some tips to overcoming Mondays. All right. Having a case of the Mondays. First and foremost, I'm always a big advocate of reviewing what I do before I go to bed, or when I leave the office. Some days it's later than others. My late nights in the office are usually Monday and Wednesday nights because I have webinars. We have our Note Night in America, webinar on Monday nights. And we also do the podcasters live stream, or the mass media coaching calls there, those as well. So getting out of the office is usually 8:30 on Monday, Wednesday night. So the things I do before I leave here is, okay, do I have an appointment first thing in the morning? Do I have a podcast episode? What am I doing first thing between 9 and noon, so that I know and I can go to bed accordingly, I can sleep, I can make sure and get up in the morning and have everything ready to rock and roll. So, and that's the thing, you want to try to get in as much of a routine as possible. I think that helps you more than anything else. Yeah, coffee is a great thing. My morning routine a lot of times is I'll stop at the store when I pull in here, because I literally live very close to the office here. I'll pull in, grab a couple bananas, or I'll buy bananas and either grab a Red Bull or a cup of coffee when I roll in. And that's it. I don't check email to begin with in my day. I don't think that's a great way to start things. I want to do something that's going to help promote my day along the way. I don't usually check my emails at home at night after 7 p.m., 8 o'clock at night. I just don't do that. I refuse to do that. I want to sit there and unwind and spend time with stuff and the animals. Or, if we go to a movie, I want to be able to spend that time fruitfully so that the next morning I'm rocking and rolling, ready to rock and roll. So that's the thing. I may make a note. I may say, am I talking with? Am I on somebody's show? I want to get as much of a routine as possible for me. And that's one of the biggest things that I do is I try to time block my schedule as best I can. For those of you that are looking for a tool to help you kind of do that, I'm a big fan of Calendly. Now, Calendly, I use this religiously, not only to book podcast interviews for people to be on my show, but I post, coaching calls with that. If I'm talking with somebody, social media or reach out, I'll send somebody a link, say, let's jump on a call for 30 minutes and visit. We can do a live Zoom. I get away from going and doing coffee meetings or going out. One of the few things I will do is I'll go out to B&I groups and network there. But that's a great way to start my morning off. But that's usually a 7:30, 8 o'clock kind of thing. I'm out of the house earlier for those mornings. So what I'm trying to get is try to time block your schedule. We use Calendly even to talk with asset managers. If we've got an email campaign running, we'll ask them, hey, if you want to, let's jump on a call for 15 minutes and just kind of see where everything's at. The more you can kind of get in a regiment, the easier your day is going to be, the more productive I find that I'm going to be as well. You block out my workouts, noon to 1, several days out of the week. Sometimes it's Monday through Friday. Sometimes it's just Tuesday, Thursday. It also depends on our travel schedule. But the thing I think most people fail to realize is a lot of people believe that their New Year is going to be completely different. And the only way that's going to be different is, if you've planned ahead and you start taking different action. I've got a big wall calendar here. It's literally in my face every day. And so that's the thing I can look at. Okay, what are we doing? What are we coming up? And I try to block my year into 90-day segments. Why 90-day segments? Well, that's quarters. I can kind of judge myself with my goals on my board. What am I tracking? How's my marketing working? How many deals do I have? I don't try to do too much because then you get overwhelmed, but we keep some basic things. One of the things I look at too, marketing wise, there's two things I'm tracking right now that I've been doing this for the last few months. Is I'm tracking, one thing is YouTube subscribers. How are we doing? We're about to, by the time you probably hear this or watch this, we'll be over the 3,000 YouTube subscriber mark, which is not huge, but it's also not small as well. And people that subscribe to my channel usually do a really good job of following up and listening and communicating. So the more subscribers I get, we see a direct correlation in our views going up, and then also opt-ins for different things, from our classes to our coaching calls to people making offers on bids and assets, stuff like that. That's a beautiful thing. That's one thing that I track. Another thing that I track also is our LinkedIn connections. Now, why would I track LinkedIn connections? Why wouldn't I track Facebook friends, or Twitter things? You can track those things depending on what platform works well for you, but LinkedIn is probably our premier platform. And that's the two things that we're spending the most amount of time on, is make sure we're using YouTube and video, and then also using LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a great social media platform. You've heard us talk with Marcus Murphy just a few weeks ago from Digital Marketer about the program. We even focused on that on a Note Night in America coaching call. We had Ali Blotter on a year ago talking about it. It is a great place for you to find people. So what do I use on LinkedIn? Well, does that mean during the day I'm going and just sending connections to people? No. I'm using a service called Octopus CRM and Lead Fuse, two different websites, two different services that I pay for that link into my LinkedIn account. Linked into my LinkedIn, that's good. So that I can connect with people roughly 100 a day. Now, I send out invites, I send out connections, and I'm truly making relationships. Hey, just wanted to reach out to you. So one of the things that works well, you may want to jump on Octopus CRM, and it allows you to link in when you do a search for, let's say, real estate investors or note investors. You can do a search on LinkedIn for that, and it'll pull up. I don't know. Let's take a look. I have it up right now. So let's run this. So if I'm here, I'm doing a search here, I'll just type in real estate investors. All right. So if they have anything that says real estate investing or real estate investor in their thing, in their profile, it'll pop up. So like 360,000 connections. All right. So let me drop this down to secondary connections. Apply. So on a secondary connection, that means I'm not directly connected to them. there's 78,598 real estate investors. Okay. So if I wanted to connect with more real estate investors, I would just simply go on here and I could either say send a connection, and at any given time, if you've got an account for a while, LinkedIn's going to limit the amount of invites out to 2,500. So those are invites that they haven't connected with you. So after a while, I won't let you invite anymore, which is fine. You just have to be smart about this. Now you can go back in and delete those invites out if they never click on them, which is what we do on a regular basis. Pretty much at least once a month, I'll go back in and remove the invites that are older than a month. Because if they haven't really looked in the last month, they're probably not going to spend time on LinkedIn anyway. So we'll go on there and just say, hey, just looking to connect with their real estate investors. Send a short little message in the connect in the thing. Octopus CRM allows for you to customize it, first name, last name. Still, you have only so many characters that you can put in there. But there's any way you can personalize it with the first name field that boosts your opt-in rate. Now, I also put a little video clip in there, a 1 to 2 minute video that I've recorded to get to share a little bit more about what I do. Because you can't share everything, who you are and stuff like that, in a link or just in text. So I share a little 2 minute video. Hey, here's what I do at We Close Notes, the Note Close Show. We're buying and selling assets. And that allows for that video to be a little longer. Now, I would not make that video, if you're going to be doing this, would not make it longer than 2 minutes. Try to keep it short and sweet, quick introductions, have it well-lit video, and make sure, you get straight to the point. Hey, I'm just looking to connect with other real estate investors. I'm out of the Austin market. Here's what I do. I'd love to connect with you here on LinkedIn, or check out my website, weclosenotes.com. Give them something to take action to. Or, hey, I've got a free book on note investing if you'd like a copy. That's actually something I need to add. Hey, boom, boom, boom. We use our lead magnet. And if you guys have read my book, it's a pretty good book. 73-page book on how to buy real estate for 40% off. If you want this, you can go to noteblueprint.com/free book to grab a copy of that. But that's, especially here in the new year, there's things that are happening. People want to connect. People are looking to connect. People are looking to network more. That's why you're going to see increased attendance at meetup groups or real estate investment clubs across the country in January and February. You're going to see increased traffic on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. People are putting together marketing plays. This is why your phone's going to ring off the hook if you've got realtor friends or mortgage broker friends, because this is a big thing when they're starting to reach out to people. Hey, who do you know who's looking to buy or sell a house? Or who are you doing that? You'll see that happening quite a bit here over the next few weeks as well, too, as it's not the busiest buying season for houses like the middle of the year is, but it's still a good one for people. For the most part, especially depending on if you're in a hot market, it's always a good time to be buying or selling. But the idea is here is to start something, start putting some things in place. One of the things I try to do if I learn a tool is try to implement it in 24 to 72 hours, especially if I go to an event or a conference or something like that. So we get someone on stage and talks about an event or a tool or software that they're using, and I like how it works or I'll jump on there and do it. Do it by, hey, I'll actually sign up for it. Most of these softwares will have a trial period, 7 days, 30 days, a free version. If I like it pretty much immediately, I go ahead and sign up for the paid version and unlock a lot of other features. But that's the thing, just get in a habit. Habits are built on a daily basis, all right? Success is built in your habits and how often you control your schedule, all right? Because a year, 366 days this year, we had an extra day in 2020. All right. We got a whole extra day on a Saturday, February 29th, that we don't get. All right. And so that's the thing to look at. What are you doing here? What's your year going to look like? I mean, if you look at the next 60 days to build habits roughly, that's going to come out to roughly, what is that? March 7th would be 60 days from today, roughly. That's a Saturday. You could have a lot of success doing things if you just start putting them in place. You have to have the patience. You have to see some things work. If you send out 100 invites, you're probably going to get 5 or 10 that will respond. I've found invites work better usually in the evenings, like at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock I've seen. So and then also first thing in the morning. So I've been messing around with this, using this Octopus CRM to connect with people. Some days I can connect with 100. Sometimes I can connect with a little bit more if I add, instead of adding 100, maybe 50. And then LinkedIn will shut my access down to inviting more people till the next day. What I'm trying to get at, put some things in place that you can do on a regular basis. Now, we all know that's, a lot of people are still sending emails out. So Sunday night's still a great time to send an email out, but maybe you need to do a Facebook Live. Maybe you need to do a video live stream or something like that. Cody Cox used to do his Friday Thoughts. It's Friday Stroll. I hope he brings that back. Where he's walking, sharing his ideas, sharing what's going on in his business and things like that. Deal of the day, a deal that you're working on, a deal that you're reviewing. These are all can be great things that you can do. And then you can use systems like Buffer or Hootsuite to automatically post those things in different places out there. If you don't have time to do a Facebook Live in the morning, maybe record it at night when you've got some time at home, and then use a service called Restream.io to reshare that whenever you want it to go live. That's a cool thing that we've done in the past, is record a video off hours or on the weekends when we knew we were going to get a lot of people to watch it if we did live. So we just waited and re-released the video the first business day or an appropriate time, the next time that we knew it was going to be a good day to release it. So what I'm trying to get is you can start carving out times to get things done. You can get rid of the case of the Mondays because you're too busy getting things done versus sitting around like, oh God, I need some more coffee. I need to go back to bed. I'm tired. I need a nap at 9:30 a.m. Well, the thing I'm trying to get at here with everybody out here, you can dominate your Mondays. Monday's always my busiest day. Usually I'm out of the house a little earlier. I'm fired up because I know I'm doing a webinar on Monday night as a way to connect with our audience on Note Night in America. Usually have a topic figured out. And I joke a little bit because this most recent Note Night in America we had, I don't know if I was going to do one. It was going to be the first Note Night in America. I had a kind of a case of the Mondays on the Monday. And that's why I bring that up. And what got me out of having a case of the Mondays was I had things I had to do. So I had things I knew I had to get done. And I got in the process of working on those things. It took away this cloud that we have that will, hide over us or stand over us a little bit and be like, hey, yeah, coffee be good. Wouldn't it be good to lay down and take a nap for a little bit? In my office, I don't have that much room to lay down and take a nap. I could on a few spots here, or I could go out and hide in an empty office here, or lay down on the couch, or go down and lay down on the floor of the gym here in the building. But that's not a good thing. I mean, look, if you want to hit numbers this year, look at what you did last year. Look at what your income was month over month last year, and look at what your investments, and look at if the deals you closed and when they closed. But look at when money came in. So if it took you 6 months to find, to market, to rehab, and sell a property, that means the marketing you're doing now will show up in 6 months from now. If you bought a note and it took 60 days to get it reperforming to where you start getting first payments, guess what? 60 days comes from the time that you do it. So rarely do we find deals that you're making in the next day. I mean, if you're a wholesaler, yeah, you can put a deal under contract, turn around and move it out, but that's still going to take off in a couple of weeks. So if you want to look to make some immediate impact, hey, the more you can start marketing, the more you can start putting these things in place so you keep building this evergreen pipeline, or all you got to do is hit a few buttons or tweak a few things to get things coming in and generating. Hey, that'll take away the Mondays. A lot of people will use that as an excuse. Oh, I have a job, I can't do as much. Or, oh, I'm so busy, I can't do much. And that's okay. I had a great phone call with a buddy of mine yesterday morning, right off the bat, like 9 a.m. We talked for about 45 minutes. I talked to him in a couple months. And he's been busy the last 6 months being dad. He's got the money to do that. He's not really worked much in real estate. He's enjoyed being with his daughter and being with his son and helping his son. He was getting to that college age and looking for scholarships, and helping his daughter with some advanced tutoring because she's smart as a whip, and spend time with his wife. That's a great thing. He was like, man, I've been gone for 6 months now. I have to kind of get restarted again, up and running. I'm like, hey man, I understand it, but it's easier done. And you know what you can do? You just start picking up the phone and dialing for dollars. Start calling people in the business. If you don't understand marketing or more seasoned and don't want to spend time with that, then that's what you should do. Pick up the phone and start dialing for dollars. Pick up the phone and start calling asset managers. I know that there's been some trades that closed at the end of the year that were highlighted out there, but they're retrading. The buyers of those are turning around and retrading them, reselling what they don't want. Hey, pick up the phone and call. Pick up the phone and take a look at those assets. Reach out to them. You know, everybody should be back in their office now. Should be back from winter vacation, from New Year vacation, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas is all done now. The New Year's hangovers are over now. There's no reason for a Bloody Mary on Monday. Even the NFL playoff games ended before late on Sunday night. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. There's no excuses. Look, you can live by the Mondays. You can have a red swing line, stapler if you want. I don't care if you're in the top of the building or in the basement working. You can accomplish things by just taking action, scheduling in, time blocking your schedule, and start putting in 1, 2, 3 new things. Don't put in 20 because you never get around to them, but putting in new things into your systems, into your marketing, into what you're doing on a daily basis to drive revenue, because it's not going to happen today, rarely. So now if you're buying performing notes and you're looking for performing notes, hey, that can happen. I'm buying a note. I got a payment coming in 1st of February. Hey, that's a great thing. What I'm trying to tell you guys and gals out there is you hold the keys to your success in your hand. You've got the engine. You've got the car to do it. You just have to get into the seat, turn the keys and put it into drive and then press the gas. All right? Pressing the gas, that's marketing. That's the phone calls. That's the email blast. That's the LinkedIn. That's the live video that you should be doing. You know, stuff that's where your audience is at. I saw a video of a friend of mine who's a marketer who's got an amazing Instagram account, 91,000, but she's going to stop it using Instagram because she knows it's changing so much that she'd rather go back and by looking into where her marketing works the best and where her clients come from the best and where the deals that she closes comes from the best, doesn't come from Instagram. Doesn't come from duck lips and selfies or food porn. It comes from her connecting, making connections, having conversations with people. And that's why she likes the LinkedIn platform and even YouTube, the video aspect of things. Because, you know, I hear this from a lot of you. Many of you are watching these on YouTube, or many of you are watching and listening to this on our channel, or listening to it on podcasts, or listening to it on our AM/FM radio station network across the country, and listen on a regular basis. We see that. We see our numbers increasing every episode, every month. And we appreciate that. You feel like you're getting an opportunity to know me, to talk with me. Hey, reach out. I'm glad to talk with you. I'm glad to visit with you. Scott@weclosenotes.com is my email. I'll send you a link. We can spend 30 minutes talking about your business and where you're going. If you don't have a clue where you want to do this year, hey, reach out and talk to somebody. Don't sit there floundering. The biggest mistake you can make is to be idle, and just sitting there and not knowing, sitting on your thumbs, or being so worried about what's going on and that you don't know where to turn. Maybe you have too much coming at you. Hey, I understand that. I've been there. We all have. When life throws a lot of stuff at you, it can be confusing. You sit there and like, I don't know what to do. Start doing something, digging your way out. The only way you can dig yourself out of a hole, hey, just start digging. Start digging in the sides of the wall to fill that in so it lifts you up. You know, that's the biggest thing I can tell you. Look at what you're doing on a daily basis. Heck, write it down, what you did every hour. You know, do that for a couple of days. Do that for 5 days and see how effective you are. Do that for a week and you'll see, hey, where am I spending my time? Where am I wasting my time? What's effective? What's not effective? All right. You know, those are little things that you can do to make things successful. I mean, we're cutting some things out of our marketing this year. A couple platforms we're not using. All right. A couple platforms we've engaged with a little bit differently. All right. Like I've jumped back in over the holidays and spent a little bit more time on Twitter. Spend more time on that aspect of things. I'm spending less time on Instagram. All right. That we have done in the past. Now I'll still post some images. We've got that set up to kind of auto do that for me, so I don't have to do that. But we're spending more time really doubling down on connecting with people on LinkedIn, making connections there, sharing content there, And the same thing with YouTube, making sure we optimize our videos, starting to restream those, where reshare those on other platforms. So it's a little bit easier. We can drive some traffic without having to do a lot of work, and kind of re-engage our audience out there, re-engage with some people that maybe we've talked to in a while and things like that, and doing, honestly, like dialing for dollars, reaching out to ask managers or people I haven't talked to in the last quarter or last 6 months, just re-engaging. Hey, what's going on? How's your week? How's your year? What's 2020? What are you excited about? And get things rocking and rolling for you, because that's really the only way you're going to make things, different in 2020. Our good friend, let me rephrase it. A guy that I consider a distant mentor is Charlie Tremendous Jones. I'm good friends with Greg Reed, who is a huge advocate of Charlie Tremendous Jones. And Charlie is known for saying, in 5 years from now, you'll be the same person except for the books that you read and the people that you meet. So add some books to your schedule. I'd love to hear what books you're excited about reading in 2020. More importantly, start surrounding yourself with people. Start to surround yourself with people at a level that you want to get to. Quit hanging out with the people at the same level you're at right now. Bump it up. What does that mean? It means you got to get out of the house. You got to go talk to people. You got to go network with people. We were really excited starting to put together some tentative plans for kind of a tour across the country a little bit, bringing the Note Closer show to different markets out there, so doing some live streams, live feeds out there, and connecting with local investors and local people in the area. We've got our new book coming out, Loan Tales, going to be coming out this year. We've been working on that for a while, through a few edits and a new editor. He's putting some stuff together, so we're really excited about that. That's going to be a end of Q1 launch, finally, with some new stories and new training, and become a new little supplement to how to buy real estate for 40% off on our ebook. So we're excited about that and the stories that's going to provide, and getting that out across the country to our network as well. But that takes planning. That takes talking to people. That takes putting some things in place, sitting at home and thinking about it, and jotting it all down, and looking at things and what's going to be good, what's not going to be good, where you should go, where you shouldn't go. That's the thing that I think I pride myself more than anything else, is that we do a really good job of, forecasting things. Where do we want to be? Where do we want to go? What do we want to do? I mean, we're already planning things. We've got things on the calendar for June, events on the calendar for November of next year already. It was the funniest thing. I saw people reach out to me like, hey, we got a big event in November in New York this year, if you want to come to it. I was like, I may come to it this year. Now, what does that mean? It means you still got to work in January, but you can start putting things in the calendar, start circling, looking at the events that you want to attend. Maybe go to a different event this year that you haven't been to. Somebody asked me, Scott, why would you be doing a podcasting event when you're in the note business and real estate? Well, for two reasons. One, pure. The people I have speaking are people that I admire and people that I want to learn from. Okay? People that I want to learn from. So I scheduled a 3-day, basically, continuing education for me. What does that mean? Well, I'm so excited to be on and listening to all the 20 speakers that are going to be presenting at the Mass Media Summit. If you go to massmediasummit.live and use the code Scott, that'll get you 50% off tickets to the event. Massmediasummit.live. And like I said, use the code Scott, all capital letters, SCOTT. They'll knock 50% off all the different ticket levels. But I'm really looking forward to the different experts that are coming on and sharing their expertise, their niche, and how they're marketing for. Like, we've got some, I'm really excited to see Matt Wolf and Joe Fear coming on, talking about how they're using their newsletter to help engage with their audience. I'm really excited about Molly Mahoney coming on and talking more about chatbots and putting some systems in place to make those things work a little bit more effective here that I think we can all use. I'm looking forward to hearing what Stephanie Lahart has to say about some other things using Instagram in real estate. I'm looking forward to hearing Doug Sandler from the Nice Guys on Business podcast kick things off with how to do some turnkey podcasting stuff. Because that's really what it all comes down to, whether you believe it or not, everybody. Yes, we're all listening to this are probably in real estate of some sort or real interest in real estate, but we're all in the media business these days much more than we've ever been before. If you're not using that, not adding some sort of media to your marketing, you're going to be behind the 8 ball. And media, that's either audio or video, and it's doing on a regular basis. So I know a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines out there. Hey, I'd like to, I listen to podcasts, or I want to start a podcast or something. Start now. Start it and keep doing it. Continue to doing that, because with everything going the way it's going, and you're looking at the trends and things like that, there's a lot of podcasts being started, but there's a lot of experiencing what we call pod fade, where they fade off and stop doing after 10 episodes. So if you can get to that 10 episode, then get to that 20 episode mark, then that 30, and then that 50, and then 100 episode mark, you're going to see a lot of increased business come across your plate. One of the big things I have marked on the board is, and this was a big priority for me last year, was to be on 100 podcasts in 2019. We exceeded that number. Well, I'm bumping my number up this year. I want to be on 120 podcasts. What's that come down to? Well, that's only 10 guest appearances a week. That's 10 speaking appearances for me a month is the way I look at that. So it comes down, 2-3 a week. Hey, that's 3 hours of marketing, 3 hours of speaking. I should be doing that. It's part of what we're doing with some of the things they're doing, is we're really wanting to leverage that media and retweaking how we look at things on a classroom basis to deliver better content, deliver better speakers for you guys out there, different vendors. And so I've basically kind of tailored out the next 20, next 30 episodes of what I want to accomplish. Yes, we'll have a mixture of guests coming in, talking about a variety of things. I'm really excited about our next guest we have coming on here, talking about the recession and how people can maximize and learn and make profits from the recession. We're really excited about that. Looking forward to the nuts and bolts content that we're going to be kind of diving back into that we haven't covered in a while. We cover it for a little while, we let it go, then we come back and cover it again for those that are listening or not listening. It's a good recap for people. So, like I said, if you got a case of the Mondays, just start planning your year. Start planning the next 30 days. And this plan success, if you plan momentum will come as long as you do it. I know that sounds awkward, but if you start planning what you want to happen, start planning momentum, it'll happen. The more you market, the more the momentum is going to go in your place. It may not happen the first email. It definitely is not probably going to happen the first post you have. But if you can talk to one person more with everything you do, at least one conversation, it's better than not doing anything at all. And that's the thing I think most with the videos and the podcast episodes that we crank out is I got Gary Vaynerchuk in the back of my mind saying, hey, if you do a video, it doesn't have to go viral. If you get one person that watches that, hey, you've done your part. You've got one person that responds, or one person that learns from a video or a podcast or a post or something that you do. It was worth it. One person is better than zero. One is greater than zero. And the only way you're going to guarantee success is by doing something. The only thing you guarantee by not taking action is failure. I know many of you don't want to start off 2020 on a failing routine. You want to be successful. You want to do some things. So do yourself a favor. Start looking at what you have going on. Start looking at the activities you're doing or not doing. What are you wasting time? Now, last night, I'll give you an example. I walked out of here at 8 o'clock last night. I got home. I made dinner. Steph and I worked on some things. And I turned on the TV and I watched TV for a couple hours. Just chilling, relaxing there, letting my mind ease. I had a little bit of a headache. It was a long day. It's okay. That was my way to unwind, talking with Steph. Just relaxing a little bit, maybe a little bit of pasta. I had some frozen black cherries, some Topo Chico, and just kind of chilled there for a little bit. Went to bed, up this morning, boom, back at it again. Cup of coffee, couple bananas. I got my trainer coming. In a little bit, we're going to work the body and the mind this afternoon. We've got a couple podcast episodes. We've got some marketing going out. Like I said, we had a closing today, so we got a wire coming in, and we'll be sending out either closing off some stuff or paying some quarterly payouts or a variety of things. Look, plan not only just work, but also plan some fun things. If you have had a good 2019, reward yourself. Plan a trip, plan a cruise, plan a vacation somewhere. You know, get away. Southwest flies pretty cheap to a lot of great destinations. Okay, doesn't have to be expensive. There's a lot of great discounts on travel. Now, I would avoid American Airlines. I see people complaining this morning again about American Airlines, but you know that's why we fly Southwest so often. We get taken care of so well. But we've got things that we've got on the schedule, places we're going to be going to, you know, things that we'll be doing. We're really, you know, looking forward to seeing a lot of growth this year, and tweaking up things, changing around something we've been doing. You know, we do that in reflection. What did we do good? What did we do bad last year? Maybe not bad. What can we improve on, and start to look to improve on it? And that makes sense. Improve on it, great. If we need to get rid of something, let's get rid of something, cut the cord, and move on, and look to make the best of the new year, the new quarter, the new week. Because you have an opportunity each day to walk in or wake up, get up, roll out of bed, and make that day successful. Nobody else can do that. You can make that day successful, one way or another. And with the power that we have in our cell phones and our laptops, my gosh, we are so far much more advanced than we were 10 years ago. There's so many opportunities out there. Go and make something happen. Do a selfie video, do a live stream, do something to get the message on what you're focused on. That's why I challenge you. I challenge you to do that. I challenge you all to take action and make Monday not only your best, but your best day ever. So guys, go out, take some action, everybody, and we'll see you all at the top. Bye.